mornings. Bri and I are finally back on the road.
Good morning.
It is it's like 5:45 right now. We're at Palouse Falls in Washington. We're the first people here. We actually got here late last night at like 10:30 p.m. Because a few years ago, Danny and I camped right here, but I guess the campground is no longer a campground. So we ended up not being able to stay the night, and we wild camped about 10 miles from here. But super excited. Never shot sunrise here, so just gonna do a little hike over here, get some photos, maybe drone. It's a really cool waterfall, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. The van's been having some issues, but it made it here from Denver, so it's making its way through. So if you do not have a parks pass, you can get a day pass here. You can buy a parks pass here, or a year-long pass for just this spot. It's only 30 bucks. But yeah, National Park Pass works here. Woo. So the colors are starting to get nice. I have 5-10 more minutes until sunrise. Just kind of scoping where we want our photos from at the moment. One other car got here. So looks like no drones, as you guys saw, which when I came here, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, there wasn't any signs about that. So sadly, I'll not be flying my drone, but if I can find that old footage, I'll throw it in, because it's really cool stuff. But either way, I should get some awesome photos of the waterfall. So we don't have the most dynamically interesting sky, you know, there's no clouds in it, but getting some cool long exposures at the moment. So I'm gonna flip my screen so you guys can see kind of just the taking of this shot right now. I'm pretty stoked on this composition. You know, I've got this entire circle, I can get a bunch of swirls in here, the waterfall, this beautiful canyon of rocks surrounding it, the sky, even though it is not like the most interesting sky. And then I can get a little bit of this canyon, but not a ton. But because of the light difference, I am gonna be taking multiple exposures. So right here, I'm exposing for my sky, and I've got it on a 2-second timer. I'm gonna do a few notches over. That's gonna be kind of for my midtones. And then a few more notches over. And that is going to be kind of strictly for my waterfall in the foreground. That'll give me a nice long exposure. And then these will blend super easy in Lightroom or Photoshop, depending on which you prefer. And then should make for a pretty solid photo. You know, you could add to the sky, change it, you know, whatever, but kind of like it, simplicity, and kind of focus it on the waterfall itself. Here's Bri getting her bangers. She liked that vantage point a lot. So it looks like the light is starting to hit the top of this canyon. But yeah, still no clouds or anything in the sky. So right now I'm just kind of trying to think of different ways to get creative with this shot. So I put on my ND 1000, and right now I'm actually doing a vertical panorama. So I'm getting the waterfall, you know, this whole circle pool, this canyon horizontally, and I'm facing down, and then I'm just inching up for every photo. It's about a 15-second exposure. And then my last photo of the sky, I'm gonna be cutting down my shutter speed to get, you know, not clip the highlights, and then I'll stitch those together in Lightroom. But then, you know, play with the composition a little bit, see what we can make with these images. So this was my last photo that I took, and you know, it was at the same settings as the others, but now I'm gonna be cut that down just so my sky is nice and exposed. And then I'll load these all up together into a stacked image. Man, I'm so bummed about the no drone law now. It seems super easy to get permission, but Bri and I are heading out this morning to the next spot, so we won't have time to do that. It's always tough to find that information online for little spots like this. But I just remember the aerial photography stuff was so good here. And when I was here last, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. So I was really looking forward to that. But you know, I am just gonna put some drone footage from a few years ago. Just so you guys can kind of see it. Excuse the quality, it's probably not that great, but it's something. Sun just came out and Bri and I were just kind of waiting here for the last like 10-15 minutes to get some sun flares. I got some good horizontal photos. I think Bri got some bangers, but I had some tripod malfunctions, so we'll see what they actually look like in post. I'm not entirely sure. Done shooting. We grabbed some cereal and some almond milk because we finally have kind of a cooler or a fridge in the van, just a little Yeti. But we're just gonna have some cereal and enjoy the view. I think next thing for the video, I'm just gonna hop in my computer and kind of talk over some of the images I got. So hop in.